Ba-bum, ba-bum, da-da. Oh, well, that's the intro track. We don't have that right now. But good gobble gobble, good evening, listeners of the program, my personal friends in real life who probably listen to this. We don't have a huge listenership, but I appreciate everyone that listens. We're broadcasting live here on a Sunday night, coming in hot off of, a lot of food eating and alcohol, if that's your thing, consumption over the weekend. So, hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. But anyways, I'm here, not doing a little solo rant. I'm actually joined by a guest. How about that?
What's up, guys?
I'm joined by one of my favorit people.
Wow, ever. That's so nice.
Her name is Hallie Christopher. She works in the music industry. She, what else she got going on? She's a personal trainer, right? No, you own a personal training nutrition company now. You take it away. Describe.
Pretty much. Yeah, so I work in music. I manage a songwriter, and I'm just in that scene a bunch. So that's been really fun. And then I also do. Right now, I'm just doing online training, but okay. I would switch to personal training once the whole COVID thing kind of slows down a bit.
That makes sense. Okay, I just wasn't familiar with the title because I know she helps me out.
Yes, he's the best client ever. I really appreciate it.
I'm great. Slacker. No,
not at all.
No. So yeah, she's helped me a lot with just getting my life in order. Now, she's helped me with my diet plan, and she texts me, "Hey, you working out today?" And I'm like,
motivator.
I'm like, nope, but now I am now.
Yeah, so exactly.
So she, having her around, and it's something she's really passionate about, and why I wanted her to come on the show and just talk about, what she's been doing, because she's got it going on. But music industry, a lot of people that might not know this, this is a little bit, we went to the same college, and we're in the same program. So it's like, were you always, we got our BA in business admin / music industry I don't
it was a really weird, it was mostly business with a concentration in music.
Okay, that's the proper terminology. But so what made you want to do the music industry, or get into it, pursue it? I guess.
So I've always been obsessed with music since I was little, right? I played the clarinet from 4th grade to college, and I was in chorus. I did show choir in middle school, so always involved in music, and then obsessed with artists, right? I was the biggest Justin Bieber fan, so I was maybe in high school, and I was I don't really think I want to go to college, whatever. My mom was you have to go. I'm fine. So I went on Google, and I literally searched on Google how to be Scooter Braun, and it told me how to get that music industry degree. So I saw that Fredonia had that, and I was that's it. That's the only thing I want to do. So went to Fredonia, took all those courses, and then I've always wanted to live in LA, so that's when I made that jump to LA right after college.
Making dreams a reality. I love it.
For real.
I was kind of in the same boat. I was at ECC just taking some courses just to get my grades up, and I'm I don't know what I want to do.
Right.
And then my mom was you should check this out, because that's literally right when I got into music, really. That's when I just started blogging, and I mean it's gonna sound weird. I don't think a lot of people know this, but I went to a show, and one of the opening bands of that show, or not bands, but rap acts, they stayed at the older house I lived at, in my basement,
wow.
Because they were in a minivan touring, opening for, Moosh and Twist. They were opening for Hoodie Allen, and I went to that show and was super excited about it. I think I was 18, 19, still in the more of the fandom phase, but meeting them and seeing how down to earth they were, was damn, I can kind of do this. And so then I went on the blogging, and then Fredonia was on my radar, and then I went to Fredonia, and that's how we met. We took a couple classes and together and all that. But anyways, my point is, music, going to school for the music industry is not
it's very different. It's very different than having a career in the music industry. I think it's really two separate things. You can go to school and you can get that background on it, but until you put yourself out there, right, and reach out to people or get that job in music, you're really, it's, it takes a step to get into the actual music industry.
Yeah, it's you got to put yourself out there,
For
and it's
sure.
like, it could be very scary.
100%.
At least at first, until you go, oh, like everyone's just people.
Right. I think it seems intimidating.
Absolutely, just because it's like you kind of put these titles on people, like with their name, but then at the end of the day, they're just human like we are.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like it was a cool program. The college just like they would always say, oh, you're gonna like use these skills or whatever, and we're like, yeah, whatever. But like, it actually, I mean, I learned a lot just like because
Sure.
it made you very aware of all the contracts and the loophole, like the contracts class, the copyrights.
I think the contracts, like for me, what I'm doing right now, like the contracts and copyrights really gives me such a good like understanding of everything that I'm dealing with my writer right now. We're getting contracts, we're getting deals sent over, and like, yeah, I might not understand the whole contract when I read through it, but like I can read through it and understand parts of it, right?
Like the key words, yeah. Or like maybe sense a loophole.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Enough plugging of Fredonia. Shout out to Fredonia State.
Shout out,
great college.
Yep.
If you're thinking about applying there, go there for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. But so you manage a songwriter.
Yes. And his name's Story. Shout out Story.
Yeah. Talk about him a little bit.
So
'cause I think he has a unique story. Wow.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
So I actually found him when I was doing some A&R work for a manager, and then I ended that with the A&R job, and he reached back out to me and he was like, yo, like, I love how you handle things, like I really want you on my team. So I was like, okay, bet. Like I really had no idea what I was doing, but I knew a good sense, working for the manager. I knew how to manage someone, so started helping him with management, and then I was co-managing him at the time, and he ended up firing his other manager and was like, yo, I want you to run the whole thing. So this was only a year ago. It's not even a year ago. So this was like end of December, beginning of January where we were talking. And then starting February, March, literally right when quarantine hit, like it was like a done deal. And like I came back to Buffalo and he was in LA, and like we made it work, Like I was still sending emails, we were hopping on Zoom calls, we were doing everything to get him a publishing deal, sending out his records to literally everyone, like connecting. And we've been riding since, so it's really cool.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you, because I remember you were kind of, well, I've known you for a little bit, so you kind of told me about the process, and just like to see it kind of fruition.
Right, and everything that's happening like now is getting crazy. Like just the deals we're being offered and everything that's on the table and going forward, and the connections I'm making, relationships I'm making is like really, really exciting.
You're doing it. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know, 15-year-old Hallie would be like, wow, like I'm a badass. Like
15-year-old Hallie would look at me now and be like, yo. But she always knew. She always knew she was going to do that, so.
Well, there's just something different about you. Like you just, the way you interact with people, but also the way you maneuver and just get things done. It's.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, it's just not everyone. It's just not an easy career path to get into. Like,
it's definitely not easy.
You really got to put yourself out there. And as I've learned with this year, it's like you just got to be willing to accept like the failure of it, and then get back on your feet and figure it out.
Right. Yeah, like imagine like how many times someone's like listened to Story Records and been like, like not it. But you have to keep pushing, and it's patience is like a big thing, and I have zero patience. I hate waiting in lines. Like, that is my new thing. Like, if there's a line, I'm like, I'm good. Like,
no way. So
yeah.
It's just like, forget about it.
Yeah, I went to the mall the other day, and there was, like, a line to get into the store. I waited, like, max 10 minutes. I was like, I'm out. I gotta go. Like, I'll order it online. Just, like, I like staying busy, so if I'm waiting in line, it's, like, a waste of my time.
Busy's good. Mm-hmm. Time is valuable. We all only get 24 hours. And,
exactly.
It's all about prioritizing your time and making it happen. But that's really cool. I've seen you guys are you're gonna look back a year from now, you and Story, and it's gonna be like, wow, we really like put in the work. And everyone sees the highlights on Instagram and like all the good stuff, but they're not. You're gonna get your roses, and it's gonna be like. Yeah, I remember when I was just sending it out and
no
putting in
replies.
that work. Yeah, but then it can change. I know a good handful of people where like they're crushing it. It's like, dude, how do I get like you, man? Yeah. But we could I don't know. That's what else is interesting about music though to you? Like, is it
The industry?
Because I think managing a songwriter is not like, because a lot of people just want to manage rappers or bands or you know, but
it's crazy.
It's such a different game, right?
It really is. Like the whole publishing side, like writers and producers, is something that I've taken interest to like maybe a year and a half ago. When I started working for the manager, like I got to see that side of everything, and I just think it's really cool how you build a song, you know, and it's true. Like a lot of the writers or a lot of the like artists out today, like aren't really writing their own stuff, right? So they're looking to songwriters to write for them, like the big top 10. You know what I mean? I would say like 7 out of the top 10 right now are probably looking for writers. So it's like we're aiming for those 7 people. So I think that's like a cool part about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like putting the puzzle pieces together.
It is.
And getting, being in the right room and with the right people. Mm-hmm. To connect, I feel like it's much more, well, not that like the other parts of like the management business is not personable, but like, I feel like the songwriter, producer, it's just like way different than.
It's just like the back end.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the bullshit's not there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there is, but less, I would say.
But it's like you're at the point when you get to it, it's like that's when like paperwork or like agreements are being
mm-hmm.
made, or just like you get in situations, it's like, oh well, I guess this isn't for us. It's
right.
Whatever.
Right.
So that's cool. I mean, I don't think many people know that, but you guys are definitely putting in the work. Fitness. This is something this is like a new venture, Savage Fitness, right? Is that correct?
Yep. Savage Training.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing the hoodie right now.
Yes, shout out. I love it. It looks great.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what inspired that name, or just why you like decided to kind of start your own thing?
I mean, I was always into fitness, right? So I was like a college athlete. I played volleyball in college, so fitness has always been a part of my life since I was literally in 3rd grade playing volleyball. I started taking it more seriously once. I would say like junior and senior year of college. I really started to get into lifting, right, just to like help my performance. And then once I stopped playing volleyball, I was just kept lifting, and that's when I was like, wow, this is a big passion of mine, right? Like I love working out, I love the feeling of it. Like I love the people that work out too, right? So you meet all those friends and you surround yourself with those people. So when I was in LA, I was just like in the fitness industry so much that I was like, well, I can do this on my own, right? And I can do something that I love and make money off of it. So it's like the best of both worlds. So started Savage Training like this July. I got my personal training certification, took the test, and then I've been just going ever since. I do like some classes on the weekends. I have like a few online clients right now. So it's been fun. And the name, the name's cool. I mean, the purple and black is just like, I love those 2 colors together. And savage is just like kind of like a state of mind, right? Like you want to be like a savage in life, like that go-getter like attitude. So you gotta incorporate that into fitness. Yeah,
I feel like it's the perfect title for like representing who you are.
Right.
You know?
I agree.
It's like on point.
Yeah, everyone, when I first like came out with it, everyone was like, yo, like this is literally you. It's so perfect. So a lot of people would say like, oh, you're so savage, and it just kind of stuck with me. Yeah.
I love it. That's fun. I mean, I think brands though that like, what do you call it? When they represent people, I guess. I feel like they're more bound to succeed, just because it's just like there's personal stake in it. It's not just like, oh, this is like, I don't know.
You can like kind of relate a person to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's more memorable.
Something as personal as what you're doing with that.
Right.
Recently, this is a little bit off. This is like kind of in the sports realm. Well, the women in sports is becoming like a very big thing. Yeah. Like, I mean, the WNBA is starting to get more notice. Obviously, the women's national team for soccer kicks ass. They're terrific. Recently, there's a woman kicked in college football. It was the first time. I've seen this post going around where it's like, you women, or I don't know the exact quote, but it was like, this is what it's like to be a woman in like a male sport, and it's just like, it's terrible comments. So I kind of wanted to, get your perspective from that, just like on how that, like, it's becoming more accepted. Like, well, even not even just with being athletes, but like coaching and front office personnel. I think the first women was hired as GM of like the Miami Marlins for the MLB, and it's like just so many barriers are being broke. So
I know.
Like, what are your thoughts on
I love that.
Yeah.
I really love to see that. I mean, because I feel like when you think sports, right, you automatically think like men.
Yeah.
But it's like women are super talented and athletic. And like me being in fitness, like I know like we can perform like at the same level in most aspects. You know what I mean? Like at that same high competitive level. So I think that's cool to like give them a chance to actually show what they're capable of.
I love it. I mean, I'm a huge basketball fan, so like I watched a lot of WNBA like during quarantine or whatever, and I think it's great. I think all this, and I mean, even kind of tying it to music. I mean, like I don't know. I want to word this carefully, not like to offend you, but just like
you
not
can't offend me. Good luck.
Yeah, I know. I know you're like the greatest, but just like not to misspeak. But, like I feel like it's so much harder. Like you doing what you're doing, being like a woman in music, navigating
1,010%.
Yeah, so
I can't even.
I feel like it's so much harder.
It
just 'cause
is.
It's like I feel like not that people don't take you serious, but just like I feel like oh, some dudes will, you know, like, oh, she's hitting me up, but then it's like, oh, I'm gonna hit on her, or like it's just like not fair, you know, like it's not.
It's definitely not fair, but it's okay because I just find those loopholes and I use whatever they're trying to use on me back on them, you know. So I'll just like beat around it and like usually it ends up working out, you know.
Yeah.
So like you can hit on me, but like I'm gonna use that and I'm gonna get my writer a song with your artist, you know. So.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, you can keep hitting on me. Yeah. Like, as long as I'm getting what I want, like, whatever. You can say whatever, you know?
Okay. That's...
Yeah.
I definitely
it's a mindset thing, though. You have to have that mindset, because I know, like, a lot of females would be like, oh, my God. Yeah. Right? Like, if something happens and it's like, not just, like, use that to your advantage. One of my good friends, Rachel, she's helping me out with Story. She's been in the industry since she was, like, 18. And, I mean, she's been dealing with it the whole time. And, like, she's gave me like some of the best advice, and she's really helped me out. So it's cool to have like a little bit of an older mentor in that aspect. Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's. I mean, it's unfortunate that it's that way, but I mean, I guess is that where like the whole savage mantra comes from? Cause
definitely.
Like you just like push through it. You're like.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do, type of thing.
You're saying this to me, but like I'm clearly not acknowledging it, and we're moving forward, and we're doing business.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Well. It's great that you're like that.
Thank you.
Not like the whole mistreating. I'm not.
Right.
It's the RPD show does not condone that type of behavior. So, just for the record,
yes,
that's cool. That's really cool stuff. Mental health is like a big. I wouldn't say it's a big part of the show, but I always like pick people's brain because I feel like everyone has different perspectives on it. Like some people like. The last guy I interviewed, he's just like, yeah, like I've never dealt with like anxiety or depression really. I just kind of like, when I do, I just kind of move past it. So
that's crazy.
I kind of want to talk about like, if you think physical, like the correlation between physical health and mental health, like with people. Do you think there's like, because it's a topic I'm still trying to learn and grasp because it's so complex. Because me just talking with friends or whatever, they're like, oh yeah, I have like a chemical imbalance, but it's like, well, are you exercising? Like, are you having a balanced life, or are you just? So I mean, I'm obviously not a doctor, but like, so go ahead.
I mean, I think there's a big correlation between the two. For me, I've seen it. You know, like maybe not every single person, but I think at least for me, there's a big correlation. I think like my physical health, like working out and everything, affects my mental health. Like. Working out's like one of the things I do, like when my mind's, you know, if my mind's not right, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, all right, I'm going to work out now because I know if I work out, the rest of the day will go smooth. So I think it correlates. Yeah.
It's definitely, I think so. As like I'm learning more about it, I think that's why like if I ever feel like I'm in a funk, it's like, okay, like let's go exercise. I feel much better. So
I mean, there's literally science to prove that exercise releases like endorphins, so
that's
how could it not correlate?
It definitely correlates. I mean, also I think it's just life balance too. Like I feel like if you're too dependent on one thing, or like
for sure
you're like leaning too far to this and not giving enough time to this, then you might feel some type of way.
Right.
But
but
also some people are just I don't know. I don't know. It's a tricky subject because like some people really, really struggle with it. Where it's like I feel like I struggle with it very mildly. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But is that something? Do you have anxiety or depression at all, or is it just like
For sure? I mean, I've definitely like experienced it. You know, like right when I first moved out to LA, like. I mean, I moved there without knowing a single person, so I got there and I was like, I can do this, right? Like that savage mentality, like I'll be fine. And then I was like, this is kind of harder than I thought it would be, you know? So I was like maybe like a little bit like sad or like, I wouldn't say like depressed, but you know, it was hard to get out of bed in the morning, to be honest. Like I was working at Chipotle and like, that's it, you know? And I was like out there to do music, so it was hard for a bit. I mean, you really just have to push through it. Surround yourself with the right people, like keep going for your goals, and then suddenly like it was all just happening, right? So I think a lot about it is who you surround yourself with, though.
Yeah.
Once you get like, because I had no friends, right? Once I got that core group of friends, I was good.
I think the social aspect of it too. Mm-hmm. I think the great Scooter Braun, I think he said there's a reason why like millionaire CEOs or whatever, like they're suicidal or whatever. It's like I feel like a big reason, or why he said that quote, is just like, as humans, we need social interaction one way or other. Mm-hmm. No matter if you don't want to talk to anybody or whatever, but like, okay, we're good. No matter, like your brain or your just soul needs interaction. Mm-hmm. Just like the conversation we're having, like it's healthy for people,
agreed.
You know?
I think it's a lot about balance too, you know, and like finding what works for you. Like, if you are a workaholic and that's what makes you happy, like, for sure go do that. But if that's not how your brain's wired, you know,
you gotta
do whatever makes you happy.
You gotta really figure out what's you. And I think, well, it's interesting to hear from you because I know you're like a very independent person in a sense. Like you love hanging with your friends and stuff, but also you do enjoy that alone time.
Love
where
it.
It's like, I mean, nothing like alone time.
I know. I just like to be getting everything done, and I feel like sometimes like if you don't surround yourself with the right people, right, they're gonna distract you from doing that.
Absolutely. It's like, oh, come party or do this or whatever, and it's like, whoa, like I'm on a mission here to, and I gotta get stuff done.
Right.
And so I feel that. I mean, I think over the years, you know, just when your eyes are on like the bigger prize, you just have to. I hate to say cut people off, I guess, but just like you did. Because like I don't like to ever burn a bridge.
Right.
You know?
I don't.
So it's like,
I don't think cut off.
But it's just like you kind of distance apart.
Or just like put them to the side for now, right? Like you can always hang out in the future.
Another time. Yeah. But I think that's just a part of life, like in being young and growing up. You gotta like you figure everything out and all that. But what's like one thing that you would tell to like someone that's aspiring to be in the music industry, or like they're like, I think that's something I want to, like, what's some advice you'd give to them?
Ooh, this is hard. Just one thing.
I know I didn't put it on our list, but
I feel like there's two main things I would say. One would be like you have to put yourself out there. You have to either move to that city that you want to move to, you know, or like go drop your resume off at the company you want to work for, or, you know, anything like that. And also patience, because you might go drop the resume off and nothing happens, right? But it's like maybe the next time you do that. I think like persistence and patience, like those two things kind of come into play.
They're just not getting discouraged with like a no.
Right.
Like, I mean,
like a bounce back mentality.
Yeah, you gotta
savage
just keep it
mentality.
Savage. There you go. That's you just gotta keep it moving. You know? Like it's, I guess, just not take things personally, but I think that's really good advice, because like even if you know you want to go to school for it, as you know, like you know we didn't have like jobs lined up really. It was more like you got to figure this out on your own.
I would say the schooling part of it isn't necessary. Like if you have that like privilege and you want to go and there's that program, right? Like go do it for sure, but it's way more like the relationships and like where you are is way more important than I think the schooling part. Yeah.
I mean, I almost dropped out.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
In a sense, because like I'm almost done, but it's like I'm almost done. but like I'm like I know what I want to do and like I gotta go for it. Like I was like in the middle of it, but I'm like but it's tough. But if like, do you like see yourself being in music like forever, or is this just more of like a, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough question.
That's such a hard question.
Well, because like obviously you love it and
right.
like the thrill of it, but obviously it's like you don't know what could happen.
Well, I do plan on opening my own gym one day.
I guess that was a better question. Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely want to like stay in music, right? Like music and fitness, like two things that I want to be in for the rest of my life. That's it, you know. So, I do want to open my own gym one day though. So that's something to definitely like take in consideration. Like, can I still be doing music if I have that gym? I think I can, right?
I think the two correlate. And I know we've talked about this.
They do.
Off the record many times. Just like how like you wanted to find a way where both of them fit in.
Right.
You know?
Right. I mean, I just think like a lot of artists and stuff maybe don't take their health as their priority, right? Because they're focused on music. But I think it'd be cool to like kind of help them, right?
Absolutely. I think that would be amazing. And I think I think the track you're on where the relationships you build, then it's only going to lead into that.
Right,
it's like, boom.
Right.
Like, I mean, a great example of it is Gucci Mane. I mean, obviously, dude was all sorts of messed up, you know, when he was doing his thing for a while, just off drugs and, you know, but he, you know.
Oh, you got an eight-pack.
We're not gonna gonna sugarcoat. Dude was really fat.
Yep.
And he comes out of jail, which obviously is a very you know, and he's, you know, as healthy. You know, I look at him like, damn, dude, I want to be like you, bro. Like
inspiration.
So it's like it's definitely a thing that is not taken as serious, just because, you know, I mean, with my experience on the road, it's like you don't always have time for it, but like it's easy. Well, if you're, it's hard to always make time for it. But I guess if you're the what do you call it? Like the act, you kind of have more time than like the crew members,
right?
But still, then again, working out is not like you're like, but like I've seen other artists like just from like, well, because I used to love. Well, I still love him, but I don't watch him as much. But Wiz Khalifa's like day to day, just because I was so fascinated with the behind, like probably how you are, just the behind the scenes of how stuff's done.
Right.
Like I know, like he would bring like boxing stuff and like train while he's on the road. And it's just like, I think that's so cool. But not everyone takes health seriously. But that's the toughest thing probably. Like how. Well, what I was going to get at, like, how do you convince someone to start taking their health seriously? But, like, you can't. It has to come from within.
I don't think you can convince. I think it's all about, like, if they want to do it, you know, like, especially as, like, an online coach. Like, if you're not replying to my text messages, like, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to show up at your door, you know? Like, you see the text messages. If you want to get better, like, you let me know. Right.
Yeah. That's why I respond now.
Yeah. Right. Always. You always respond.
I feel bad. No, I don't feel bad. But, like, when I find myself slacking, I'm like, damn, like, she would be so disappointed in me.
Good. That's how it should be.
You're always on my mind.
Yeah.
It's good, though, but you're persistent with it. So if anyone out there needs a online coach,
hit me up.
She is, like, the person because she just has it on point.
Thank you.
I'm not the type to post shirtless pics. You know,
is there one coming?
What's that?
Is there one coming?
I think I'm gonna have to. No, I mean, because I took my picture, you know, at the start of it.
Yeah.
And like I saw it the other day. And I'm like, damn, I kind of. All right.
You look better.
Yeah.
I love that. I know I'm so excited for you about everything. Like the transition has been crazy.
But like I'm the type where it's like I want it to be. Like noticeable,
right?
I guess not like where it's like you go from where I'm just like 8-pack, but like where it's like
you can
dropped, where it's like you're like damn, like but
you've
also,
only been at it 5 months?
Yeah, and I mean I've lost 20 pounds since that time.
July,
So I mean but like it doesn't feel like I don't know the way you approached it with me. It's like it doesn't feel like a huge lifestyle switch up. really. It's more of just like being more conscious too of what I eat.
I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things is just like
the awareness.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's learning
about like you
and
know?
what you like and what your body can handle and how it makes you feel and all that. So
yeah, because like, I mean, I've got this straight from you, but one of the biggest helpers is just like I've been very mindful of like my gluten intake. Like I very do not like I only eat bread and stuff like on a special occasion. Like, you know,
I think that's a big factor that people don't realize, that you can like easily change your life.
Not that I'm like not anti-carbs, but it's just like
anti-carbs is never the answer.
But like I don't know, it's just it doesn't digest well, you know. So it's like if I eat it has to be whole wheat. It has to be, you know, stuff that.
It's not like you have to cut it out. It's just like limiting, you know.
But also, I love like actually like whole wheat bread.
Right.
You know? So it's like, I'm not mad at it. You know? But enough about whole wheat bread. No one's out here. No one's here. You know.
Everyone's like tuning out.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No. No, I think it's remarkable what you're doing.
Thank you.
You've the journey you've been on. I mean, starting at Chipotle and you.
I know.
Well, just like from you when you first, because I remember when you first moved out there, we went and grabbed dinner or lunch, and just from that time, and that's when I was doing my first tour too. But RIP to tours.
Yeah.
The growth where like you just slowly ascended, and it's been remarkable. And
thank you.
It's
it's fun. We got a lot more to go though. We got a lot more up to go.
But both you and I are both just getting started, and I
Yeah.
think the biggest. Not to be rambly here, but like the biggest thing that young people need to be mindful of is just the social media. You know, like what you consume. Because one of my favorite things I've seen on there is like social media has 23-year-olds convinced that they're a life failure.
I literally saw that on Twitter today.
Yeah, it's
like what? Like you have so much farther to go. I mean, even I can get caught up in that, and then I like have to take a step back and be like, all right. Well, look at how far I've come in 2 years of being in LA.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable to think about. Well, yeah, because I know you just recently celebrated a birthday. Happy belated.
Thank you.
Even though.
Yeah.
But.
24.
Yeah, so like I'm sure that felt weird-ish, right?
Kind of. I don't know. 24 is like almost 25, so.
Hey,
quarter life crisis.
Join the club. I mean, I'm 26, and like, it's almost like, oh wow, like. I'm still good because like I'm still like on the younger part of 30, but when I hit like 27, 28, you know, it's gonna be like, oh wow, okay, life is coming at you fast. But then even though it's like,
I think you just have to live life.
I don't look at. I think age or like like how old you are is like so. Like minuscule in the grand picture of it all, just like, because like if you're healthy. Your age number, like I'm not just like healthy, like oh like you're like normal, you're good, but like I'm talking about fit, healthy. You treat you eat well. The age number doesn't matter, right?
Right.
Like it's just like
age is just a number.
It is. That's where
it's how you feel inside, you know, and like how much life you live on a daily basis. You know, like living with no regrets and just like going for every opportunity you get. I think is like a big part of it. Yeah,
like I think if I was 26 and I just I'm 26 and I just treated myself like absolute crap. Obviously, I'm gonna feel older and just like aged, but so. Oh yeah, well no duh, Ryan. Like, yeah, so that's interesting. What future plans do you have? Like, have you signed anyone else or like, I mean,
so like,
are you working with other artists or what? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think for 2021, I'm gonna maybe consider adding another either producer or writer. There's a few people that I've been watching, so look out for that. But definitely adding more to like my roster and like having a little bit of a small management company for myself.
It's only growing. The empire.
Yes.
Slowly being built.
Yes.
It's fun stuff. Well, it's not. It's hard work. Not fun.
But it's also fun.
It's also fun. Well, the thing about music, I feel like, well, obviously it's not a regular job. So it's like sometimes it doesn't even feel like work.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I'm at that party and I make that play, like how does that feel like work? But it is, you know?
Right. Like whenever I was on tour, I never really, I mean, the grind of it felt like it was work, but like meeting cool people at shows or like, you know, meeting so-and-so, you know, because like, you know, the big part of a team, like you got to do guest lists every night. So like you see the list of people or like, I've just had random encounters, whether they remember me or not. It's just like super random. Like, like I met like John Elway's son in Denver like a couple times. It's like, the fuck? Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to name drop here, but it's just like, I don't even know where I was going with this ramble. It's late-ish. Sorry, brain fried over here. Deep fried, brother.
Deep fried. 10 hours in the car fried.
Yeah. But, yeah, I traveled. But we're socially distanced. We're good.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Corona.
Yeah, we're good. I tested negative recently. She did too. So
so
that's why I was like, yeah, like let's do this in person. Cause and this is like cool because like I've done so many that have been on like Zoom where it's like I'm like doing this right, and it's like I'm just talking to a computer. But I mean I have the mic in front of me, but I'm just like talking to the computer, being all enthusiastic, and it's like I see them, and so it's kind of
it's fun in person for sure. That's why I wanted to do it in person. Yeah.
Just because it's like you kind of catch the vibe. I was talking to a friend. He's like, "Oh boy, I can't wait to tune in and see how awkward you were."
Oh my god.
I'm like, I'm not awkward. What are you talking about, dude?
Never.
It's like he was just yanking my chain, busting my whatever the terms are. But good stuff.
Yes.
Dude, I do you got anything more for me? No.
Thank you for having me.
Well, no, actually, my bad. This is always the final question.
Okay.
My bad. I was supposed to ask this first, but we're gonna do it in reverse and then ask the final question.
Okay.
So, obviously, Thanksgiving was recently. What's one? Trent, you're gonna have to edit this and put it at the front.
Okay.
But what's one thing that you're grateful for today, or like things that you're grateful for in your life, or
anything, or just one thing?
It could be one thing that
my
sticks
family.
out.
I think my parents and my family, both my sisters and my parents, like, without their foundation and their support, you know, I really couldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. So, shout out to them.
Family is the most important thing.
Family over everything.
You got to be with your good people. Okay, I randomly thought of that.
That's good.
But it's the last question. It's like if you want to plug anything, what last words like. This is like the kind of the closing, like there's just like check out my Instagram, yo.
Oh yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Hallie Christopher, HallieChristopher on Instagram. There's a lot more exciting stuff to come. If you need a online coach, hit me up. I would love to. I'm taking more right now, so hit me up. And thanks for having me, Ryan. I'm like, it was so fun, and
I had fun.
I've been excited to do it, so I'm glad we got to.
Me too. This was a long time coming. I remember we talked about doing one, but you're like, we got to do it in person. So I'm like, bet, and we'll figure it out. You know, just let me take the private real quick, and we'll make it.
The private, the PJ.
Yeah.
The PJ on the way. One day. Hallie airs.
That's a goal of mine. I mean, not.
No goal too high, though, you know?
Well, it's not like a goal, but it's like a bucket list. Like, cross it off.
Yeah.
But.
Me too.
Anyways, folks, go check her out. Go DM her. Be like,
yeah,
this episode was cool.
Do
or
it.
like,
yeah.
Or you can be rude, but she won't respond because she's savage. So.
Keep those in the requests.
Yeah.
Keep those DMs in the requests.
But if online training or coaching is something you've been putting off, and you really holler at me or holler at her, and we'll connect you guys and do all that. But Hallie, thanks again.
Thank you
for having me. Thanks for being on the show.
It's been a long day. Day. It's all good.
But we're gonna cut it off right here. See you next week. Thanks for listening. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Peace.